Hello, welcome back. Namaste. Thank you for being here again today, Shiny One. So it's a new now moment, a new point of attraction. Very grateful for you being here. Thank you so much. You know, we're shapeshifting, and life is that. We come into this realm, and it's a perfect opportunity to know ourselves and expand into this, what we were saying, these endless potentials that we created, a very long time ago. But now we're really stepping into it, and it's gaining momentum. So you are changing, you're shape shifting. It's a different than a type of change where, change is life, but a type of transmutation. And transmutation, when something like this happens, it's never the same again. Never the same. Kind of like a lightning bolt that comes down and and nothing's ever the same again. Okay. So we're shapeshifters and we're skinwalkers. Science gives us terminology that tells us that we're human beings, Homo sapiens, it even has and we adopt this language, we adopt this wording. And, it's fine. It's wording. But more accurately, we'd like to say that we're shapeshifters and skinwalkers because, the skin is the largest organ, as science told us. But what is the skin? It's pretty malleable. It's not like it's solid like the ground, hard. It's pretty stretchy, and in itself we're shape-shifting. You cannot get to your baby self where you're at now, never again. So we shape-shift from going from young to aging into our older years. We shape-shift when we go from gaining weight to losing weight. We shape-shift when we have certain things that come into our body that weren't taken care of at an energetic level, called cancer. And we shape-shift from having that to not having that. We shape-shift from going through trauma to being relieved from it. Like, it didn't really happen too much because it has no pull on your emotional being no longer. We shapeshift all the time, every moment. When we started this session right now, it's already changed. Things are shifting, and we're not paying attention to that because our focus is, pretty finite. And being in this realm, it's about how we hold our attention. And that's why it's fascinating when we start doing this alchemical thing within ourselves, with our thoughts and our emotions. We start noticing what we're attracting in our life completely changes. And because our focus is now, finite. It's now, what do we want to say? It's more precise. That's the word. You have a focus. It's kind of like a doing. I mean, and then we talked about yesterday the Wu Wei, which is life is living you. But as we have this free will, the human, we can kind of do our own thing. So we tend not to, well, we didn't before, listen to the higher knowing, that wisdom that was flowing through. That's why they say when you pray, you're thanking, and you're giving, and when you are meditating, then you're listening and you're receiving. So there's always this check and balances, and the whole, the symbols behind us here is that yin yang symbol with the black and the white and the white and the black, but it's always moving. It's always moving around, always coming in and out, and it's never any, complete 100% coming into balance, because that's this realm. It's always coming and going in and out, always coming and then departing, arriving and departing at the same time. That's just the way it is here. But to know how it is here, and once we understand how it is here and who we are, then we live accordingly. It's pretty simple. But we live so long in the stronghold of science and religion and belief systems, beyond belief systems. Oh, you and I, Muriel, we have so many belief systems that are leaving. They're just falling away with the frequencies. There's not much we need to do here, but there is a non-type of action, non-action action, which is the focus. And you focus, when you need to, when you're thrown off. You're not in the feel-good state, then, you relax and you take it easy and you take time out and breathe. This is what we do. Then you get in a feel-good state. This is when you start creating. We never create when we're not feeling well. So you're shape-shifting into an entirely new type of being. We all are. And it's happening fast. It's happening at a quantum level. And when we talk about quantum, we'll repeat it again and again and again, is that consciousness is moving faster than time and space. So we're kind of getting ahead of it. Or we are getting ahead of it, not kind of. We are getting ahead of it, and we're laying it out. The structure, the platform in which we're playing out this existence, and We're changing our cellular structure. It's happening outside the atomic level. And I know when I do my practice, I work with my clients, we're doing psychic surgeries, we're doing things that are what we consider in the future. So when we're working in the sessions, we're in the future, kind of out of time and space, and then it catches up because there's lag time in the third dimensional reality, which is lifting again. There'll be less and less of this mentioning of the 3D the more we go into this new now moment, which tomorrow we say tomorrow, but is really today. It becomes today when tomorrow happens. So we never go there with the wording like that. We're acknowledging that we are shapeshifters and we're skinwalkers and we are eternal beings having a physical experience and with a knowing of this. And so we'll consciously create with the knowing of this and all of that old ancient wisdom that was seeping through everything that had to be kind of hush hush, kept under covers, or be destroyed. That's over. Those times are over. This is all part of moving into a whole new world and we're creating together. So being gentle with yourself during these times, being gentle with yourself and keeping things simple, time to rest, time out, and then enjoy yourself. Say it's high fun times and you're partying, and again, rest after, again, because we're again bombarded from different stuff that's happening around the planet, so the shape shifting is happening on a multi-dimensional level. And when we say multi-dimensional, it's not just, okay, you age through the days and that you're shape shifting into old age. Yes, there's that. But as the light frequencies come in, again, what we said yesterday or the day before, is that we no longer have to adopt a belief that we're of a nature to get sick. We get old, yeah. But it doesn't have to be so radical. And we can live long time. And we had this here in this realm for a while. And, we experienced our different creation times or different suns, these prophecies, these different, what you'd say, books of knowledge in which all these cultures hold are true. These happenings happen. This realm is huge. We'll give a little video here soon about fairies and the dimensions and the worlds that live right here among us. Get back to the shape-shifting thing, we have to have major tolerance for ourselves first. And once we get comfortable with the tolerance within ourselves, for ourselves, then we can have tolerance for the nations of the countries, the war, the upheaval, the unrest, the I'm not okay happening in different towns and cities around the world, to different wild places and to the wildlife. And so you're looking at all these different components, so you have that tolerance for this happening, because that's why we're giving these messages, is because it's real, it's happening, and it's coming fast. So we don't necessarily hold on to what is. It's always what's coming, because that's what you're working on as a creator being. You're an eternal creator being. You're never done, because you're going to be on to the next. That's why I always enjoy the creation you finished before you get on to the next, so when you do that and really appreciate that and take the time, then you free up the energies, and you sat there and you're not always going and going and going, trying to reach for the next, and you never feel complete. You just understand that it's the process, that you're a creator being, and the process is the success. It's brilliant. But it's to go and let go of the worldly things, and really sit with the self long enough to have the aha moments. There's nobody that can tell you that. There's no video book or guru, spiritual leader, anybody can tell you that. That's what we're doing. And we're not doing any of that here. These spaces are very free and sovereign, so it's for you just to kind of take what you need, leave the rest, right? You may not agree with everything being presented here. We're moving away from the facts and what's mental, and the mind being so stressed out trying to figure out what's the next move. That's stressful for this creature that we are, as we're moving more into and shape-shifting into that human being. So it's almost like science was ahead of their language when they gave the world that we're human beings. Now we're human doings. So what we're doing here is moving into soft always overcomes the hard. So you don't need to fight for anything. In fact, there's no law of assertion, so you don't need to force or assert your opinion on anything whatsoever. It takes a lot of surrendering of the ego, in which considered that it's not going away. No, because the ego is a very pertinent part of this operation. We're not getting rid of the ego or death to the brain, or no. Beautiful. Everything's coming together perfectly. It's dissolving the boundaries of which you set. You're arguing for the limitations and the unrest and the not feeling not in a state of non-well-being. It's coming smack dab in the present moment and smack dab in the middle of yourself, and sitting down in the middle of yourself and having the conversations with yourself. And then this is creating a total different type of, your form is changing. Your cells are changing. You're getting younger in a way, we like to say, right? Because you're lifting the burdens of the anxiety, which the mind and the thoughts can produce these emotions that create so much stress in the body and the nervous system. It's totally unheard of for us to be able to handle something like that. As the cities were being built and the metropolises were getting bigger and bigger, there's so much stress on the physical body of humans. And they were trying to take in so much chaos. And we're moving towards a world where there'll be a total kind of opposite of this polarity. And this is what we were yearning for. We wanted this. We want this. And we always get what we want. It only takes a small number of people to create this shape-shifting, which creates all of a sudden a totally new reality in which we live upon. It's beautiful. That's how it's always happened. You get enough people, you create an objective reality, and poof, then everybody's living out, like Facebook, for instance, platform Facebook. So in a city, you get construction plans, agree upon it, build the roads, build the buildings, and poof, you get a city. So we've been doing this all along. And again, within the next 12 years, we are creating this, and you'll have different periods along the way. You'll see the segments of what we're talking about. You're going to start seeing it more and more come in as a clearer picture, and less of feeling like we are de-evolving. We're shape-shifting into an entirely new being based off of well-being, acknowledging emotions, and that's where it leads us to the next step. Whereas before, we relied on the brain, and we had to obtain knowledge, and it just make ourselves intelligent, and more and more and more textbook knowledge, schooling, knowledge, and all of this. And it wasn't getting us anywhere. So this is the wake-up call. And so as you find the body changing, you might go through different periods of unrest, anxiety, panic attacks, as you move and shape shift and start trusting and have the faith that all is going to be well. You will move past the next moment. If it gets too heavy, I have sessions available. That's what I do. That's what I do best. And we do it long distance, and I work with people all over the world. I'm here in Colorado, USA, but I work with you wherever you are, and we use a Zoom conference space. I've been doing it for the past 5 years. So if that's something that you put that in the back of your mind, it's always there for you. There's lots of us doing this work. There's lots of people coming up. I'm also offer apprenticeships too for those people who are coming up to strengthen their practice. Just to give a little bit more expansiveness if they would suggestions and they would like to take and expand on what they're doing. So when in doubt, we pay attention to what we're focusing on. Where is our point of attraction? Where is our attention? Where are we putting our attention to? If you're putting your attention to the noise of the world and the chaos of your family and the unrest within yourself, well, then you're going to keep getting that. So we take time out. You just take time out. You just give yourself a day or two, take rest, and then get back once you start feeling well. You get back to then going, okay, you make a decision what you want for yourself. And even write it down and look at it on a day-to-day basis if you need to, or scribe it in yourself and then repeat it from a day-to-day process. And stay in a mode of gratitude, because gratitude will save your life. It's like a life jacket. Gratitude, and not the words, because the words don't matter. It's you're feeling this. Again, we're moving through a world where your currency, your relationships with yourself and others is based off of your well-being and your emotional state of well-being. So it's absolutely brilliant because it's simple, and we were waiting for this, to finally calm down here and live a life. We're too busy doing other things and not living the life. Shape-shifting wasn't always about shamanism. If you're new to it, then if you're not, you know about how the shaman would shape-shift right in front of your eyes, from a jaguar to a human to the human to the jaguar. And that's just an example. But to literally shapeshift to animals of nature, because we are skinwalkers. We have the capacity to move ourselves within, to be able to shapeshift and mirror that which we would like to do. That's essentially what we are as a creature. Because if you look at us, we could never figure out what we were. We relied on a certain group of individuals to tell us who we were. But when you visit these realms within your multiverse, you start understanding your multidimensionality and who you really are. And there's so many different layers of you and so many different faces and facets and all these different things you'll never know, it seems like, you know. It's like the dark side of the moon. Does the moon see its other side? You know, yes, because when you work within the third eye, you're seeing, it's the all-seeing eye, so you can see all for a circle, full circle round, like the owl can like see full circle round. The owl can see in the dark. That's why you always see in the magician or the Merlin, the magical one with an owl on its shoulder and its spheres, because the owl was the one who could see, and that was part of your aspect. It's just an owl aspect. Everything in nature has a counterpart in the spirit world first, and then this is the secondary world. And so we created the dream. But the dream, as the shaman knows, and what we've been saying, and the Mayans came out not too long ago to tell the entire world that the dream in which we were dreaming was actually a nightmare. It depends on your perspective. It was a dream to the business person, loved it. You know, go with us here, wording. But when you're talking about people who never left the Gaia intelligence, that stay and live on the earth and do that thing, they didn't have to go anywhere, you know. So they knew this all along. They saw the whole entire thing coming. And the prophecy of the eagle and the condor, well, they'll fly together in the sky again. And so that's exactly it. Where the north is the eagle and the south is the condor, and eventually the heart and the mind, meaning the eagle is the mind, you know, the modern world with all its technological advances, and the heart being the emotional center point of Gaia and our connection, our umbilical connection, emotional well-being connection. They never left the heartbeat of the earth. So once again, we'll be flying together again in the sky, and that's what we're doing now. And we've already passed the prophecy. We're doing it now. It just doesn't seem like that on the surface, as because again, you can't pay attention to what is today, because what we're doing with our alchemy within, with the state of well-being, holding our attention to that, making sure that we're pretty much being happy for no reason at all. Not happy, but okay, right? What we're doing is we're creating that, what we're manifesting in the coming days, and knowing it's 100%, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed, or your money back. So, you know, money. What's money? What was money before? We had currency. What we were trading like, you know, other things before. You know, different shells and beads and belts and different type of stones and things that we did. So, and it not fairly recently, it just came into being that we have exchange of this paper currency. So if you look at what's going on now with everything, I mean, this is from the top up, the top of the pyramid down. If you look at the back of the dollar bill in the United States dollar bill, there's an eye in the top of that pyramid. That's you and I. There's that sacred knowledge. They knew it was this power. It's a power. It's a power within the self. Once you get it, once you and I get it, they get it, you get it, we all get it, here we go. And it's not everybody's going to come along. No. It's just that free will is kind of getting more scrunched, and the soul of your being, of all of who you are, is whispering in your ear, and you're listening to that more. That's divine will. Your walk changes accordingly to the whisperings and what you're paying attention to and acting accordingly. So we're all doing the shape-shifting, and it's brilliant. It's happening fast, real fast. So fast, we have to take a break now. And thank you so much for listening. And wherever you are in your path, we honor you. And everyone's going through something during this shift, and you're not alone, okay? And thank you so much, whatever you're doing. If you have a practice and you're helping lots of people and you're listening to this message because you're interested in just check out the world and what other people are doing, thank you for listening. Send me a message, subscribe to the channel, you know, all that stuff that people tell you to do here as we continue on into the morrow of the new now moment. So again, thank you, friend, for being here, and we'll talk to you a little later. Okay, namaste.